Hello everyone, in this particular video what we'll do, we'll go through this interesting quick start guide where we have a tutorial on monitoring virtual machine changes by using Azure Event Grid and Logic Apps. And if you come down to the prerequisite, you need a virtual machine that's alone in its own Azure resource group. Okay, if you haven't created already, then create a virtual machine and we're going to use that. So I don't have that, so let's first create that and then we kind of review what else we need to do. So create a virtual machine. I hope you all know how to do that. I'll just say create a resource. I'm just going to create a 2016 virtual machine. That's the quick start guide. We don't need that. I just need to click on that link, and what we'll do, we'll create a dedicated resource group, and this is going to be the only resource plus the associated anything. So create new. So VM group, I'm going to call the resource group for this virtual machine name win VM, and we're going to deploy to EastUS2. We're going to call it 2016 data center, and looks like pretty cheap. That's all I need, and a username and a password. Okay, got the username and password. Then I'm gonna keep this port open. Disk, we're not gonna do too much. Keep with the default. Networking, we're gonna go with the default. Management, I would like to turn off the boot diagnostics and go to advanced. Nothing to do here. Tags, nothing to do here. And I'm just gonna deploy this machine, and it's gonna cost me about less than 2 cents an hour, right? So I'm just gonna create this one and see what's going on. So as soon as I hit create, the submission of the deployment is started, and you will see how it's progressing. All of the information is going to show up here. Alright, while it's going on, sorry about the background noise, while it's going on, so we'll go back over to, where were we? One of these. So this is the one that we have already completed, so let's get rid of this one. So this is the one we're on. So the prerequisite, you need a subscription. That's obvious. So you need one to do this lab. You need an email account that is supported by the Logic apps for sending notifications. Okay, you can use your Office 365, Outlook, Outlook.com, or Gmail. I'm going to use the Outlook.com for this particular lab. Just note that if you're using Gmail, there are certain restrictions, so just read through it if you're using the Gmail account for this particular lab. Alright, so we're going to start with creating a blank Logic app. So while this deployment is going on, I really don't need to wait for anything. I can even open a new tab here and just create a new application. So let's say if they are putting the application in any particular resource group, use existing my virtual machine RG. So it looks like they're putting it in the same resource group as the where we have that particular virtual machine that we are deploying right now. So it should be simple. So we are creating a Logic app. So all you need to do is come over here, search for a Logic app, and it should show up. So click the Logic app, and once you have that, just click on the add button. This experience is exactly similar with pretty much deployment of any other resources. We're going to use VM group. That's what we chosen. Let's see if they're giving any particular name for the Logic app. Logic app name is my Logic app. Look at that. That's a pretty sleek name. So my Logic app. So let's get that. Select the region, integration service environment is TOS2, Logic Analytics. Probably we're going to go with the default, so let's verify. Resource group, we have used existing location, log analytics, turning it off. And that's pretty much all that you need to do. And then you just deploy or create the Logic app. So that's all I need. Tags is not really required. It's good to have, but not required. So now we're going to create the tab, the Logic app. So this deployment has started. So if I go back over here, now you see the VM, the Windows Server create VM, that deployment is now completed. So now I go to the resources. So it goes to the virtual machine itself, and it says that it is running, deployed in East US 2. Here is my IP address if you want to RDP to that machine. Here is the private IP address of the machine. Okay, so things are going well, so you can get rid of this tab. We don't need that anymore, and looks like this deployment is also done. So if I go to the resource, my logic app is also available to me. So let's see what is the next thing that we need to do. All right, so here we're gonna start with a blank logic app, and we are gonna add an event grid trigger. So over here, so what it is, if you look at, you have hundreds of different common triggers that are already available in here. Okay, there's like, you can look for a whole bunch of things. You can go look for this category as well. For this particular lab, we're gonna stick to a blank logic app, and logic app is different from the function app, where functions you have to just write codes. Logic app is more like a workflow, and you can design what needs to happen and when. So very minimal code, you can come up with something really cool. Okay, so here we are doing event grid integration. So event, where is the event grid? Event hub, there should be event grid. Let's go back. Okay, event grid, when a resource event occurs, Azure event grid, that is what we need. Azure event grid, publish Azure event grid. Okay, when it should be when a resource event occurs, Azure event grid. Okay, so you can just click even from here, and what it is gonna ask you is the default directory and sign in to create a connection to the Azure event grid. So let's just do that, and take the username, and if you logged in already, it should authenticate to you. So here it's asking for the subscription. That's the only subscription I have. Resource type, okay, let's wait because this may be something that we have to customize. Alright, so over here when we prompted to sign in for the subscription, choose the correct tenant. Then now subscribe to your logic app events from the subscriber, provide the details about your event subscription. So here what you need to do, subscription, let's come back over here, make sure we are the right for resource type and resource name and resource type. They have not done anything over here. So this looks like this has changed just a little. At the time when they did this, possibly they had actually no, resource type is Microsoft Resources resource groups. So we want to go to the resource group. Okay, so resource groups, let's see if I just say groups, Microsoft Resources resource groups, that's good. So we want that, and then resource name, we don't have too many resource groups, is the VM group is the only one, or the recent one that we have created. And now we have defined our resource type and resource name. Now we have to define the event type. So let's see what event types that we want. We want Microsoft Resources resource action success, delete action success, and write action success. So we need all three types. So resources, just do a success on that one first. Resource action success, okay, then I'm gonna do success, delete action success, and success we have write resource write success. So all three types of action, if it happens within this resource group, this will create an event for us. Okay, make sure delete action and write. So we got that one. so we got these three, okay, and then I think that's all I need here to add optional parameter. If we need to add more parameters here, so we can do additional parameter here, but we don't need to do anything. So at this point I can save this. So it's really simple. So if you really think about what we have done just now, we just created a logic app. In that logic app, right, so we have when the resource event occurs, so and we have chosen, hey, go to this subscription, go to this resource type, and this is the resource name. In within this, if the resource action is successful or delete or write, it trigger, okay, trigger those events, then we're gonna do something. So what we're gonna do is maybe send an email, right? So let's come back here, let's see what is next. So once this is done, sorry about the background noise. So what we're gonna do next is add a condition. Okay, so we have that when a resource occur, what are we gonna do? And this is gonna be choose an action, and there we're gonna search for the condition, and we're gonna get the condition control. Okay, so over here you click next, add a step, and here we would like to add a condition, and condition control. So that's what you need. So now what is a condition control? It has a true and false. What do you want to do? So let's see what is next that we need to configure. So rename the condition to if a virtual machine in your resource group has changed. Okay, that is, we're gonna rename it to so where do you want to put it? So here under the condition you click on this three dots, and then click and rename, and then you put everything in here. And now if a virtual machine in your resource group has changed. Okay, so we got up to that far. And then create condition that checks event body for data object where the operation name property is equal to Microsoft Compute virtual machines write operation. So here what we want to do, and click inside the left box in the dynamic content list that appears, select expression. Okay, and then in the expression editor enter the expression which returns the operation name from the trigger, and click OK. So let's see, come over here, choose a value, and the dynamic content is something that we need to configure, and that is gonna be this. So let's put it here, let's see if we can find it. There's no result for my search here, so let's see what might match. Expression is, there were two things, data and expressions. I'm trying to figure out which one to use. So here if I put this, hit OK, so that is gonna go to the trigger body is equal to let's see if that's what they wanted. Trigger body is equal to, then in the right box we're gonna do this. I see, yeah. So trigger body is equal to that. Okay, Microsoft Compute virtual machine, right? Then we're gonna do something. Okay, let's come back over here, make sure. So this is the trigger that we are now defining. Trigger is data operation name. If that is equal to this Microsoft Compute virtual machine write, then you are now going to do something with the data. If you switch from design view to code view and back to design view, the expression that you specified in the condition resolves to data dot operation name token. So let's just verify that. So if I do this, okay, now click it back on and click over here, and that didn't happen. So I was expecting that these to change, it didn't change. Actually it says to change from designer view to code view. So let's go to code view, and then come back to design view and expand that. There we go. Now it's a data.operation token is now available to us. So we solved that problem. So we are down to this part. So at this time you can save the logic app, and then next we're gonna create a send mail notification. Okay, let's save this one. So when a resource event occurs, if a virtual machine in your resource group has changed, and if it's true, okay, then add an action. If false, add an action. So if true, we need some things. Okay, so you clicked on that one, and then they're going to choose one of the email. We're going to stick to Outlook, so verify. So come back over here, choose an action, then send an email. And what you need to do, they're using, as I said, they're using Office 365, but I'm not going to use that. So this part won't be the similar exactly to how they're doing it, but we'll do something similar but using the Outlook. So let's just do that. So here we're going to choose Outlook. Okay, and then it's a send email event, so you just have to go and find send email. So send an email. So if you do that, then it's going to ask you, hey, you need to create a connection to your outlook.com account that you're going to use. So do that, and it will sign in to your Outlook account. Just sign in, and it will request for the permission. So you give all the permission that they need for sending email on your behalf. So once that's done, to specify email address, so provide an email address. Okay, so that is done. Specify subject line. So here you can say something like event, and then do something like event time or something. Let's see what they are suggesting that we do. Here resource updated, then they're asking us to just to get a subject parameter. So let's see if there is something called subject parameter that's available to me. So event, I don't have any subject parameter in here. Let's see, specify that email. Let's go to the body first. Let's see what else is available to me. This one we have done, and this one where we are right now, topic subject. Actually subject is what they wanted to use, so subject. And here we're gonna say subject resource updated, and then the subject. So let's come back over here, resource updated, and then put the subject line. And inside the body, let's see what else are we providing. Body, we are providing resource, topic, event type, ID, and event time. So let's come back over here, and expression, why nothing else is available to me. Let's come back over here, event time. Okay, they are available here. Add dynamic content from the app and connector. It's okay, so you have to search for it. Event time, we're gonna add event type, ID, and there is something else that they're adding, event time they're also adding. So let's see how many, time, event type, ID, and time. Topic is the last thing that they have added. So you can do and search for topic, and here's a topic, you got it. Now you can format this one like the way they have it. You can say event type. Okay, then do this, then put in the next line. The first one was actually time, so event type. Let's fix the first one. This one is time. Okay, then event ID, event ID, and the last one is the topic. Okay, so with that, I think that's all we need. You can hit save. So you will get emails from the subject. It will pick up from the connector. It will have the event time, event type ID, and the topic. So let's go back over here. That's all we needed to do, and you finish the logic app. Might look something like that. That's fine. Now the last thing is to do now is taste my logic app. So do that. What we need to do to specify event, update your virtual. For example, you can resize your virtual machine using PowerShell. So we can do anything with that virtual machine, and it should show up. So let's do exactly that. Here is a PowerShell command that Microsoft is giving us that we can use to run. Use PowerShell to reset virtual VM is not in an availability set. So you get the resource group name, the resource VM name, and then you provide get VM size. So let's just start with this command over here. So do this. Resource group name is VM group, we said that, and VM name is WinVM, and we know that. Then this one is gonna be come over here. Then get Azure VM resource group name is VM group, and VM name is WinVM, and then VM size is new. VM size is something that we have to do. Warning. Alright, so you can run that. So let's just try one thing real quick. Let's just go to our VM. Okay, it might just be easier to go there and look for virtual machines. Okay, so let's go to the virtual machine, open up the virtual machine, and look for size over here. Size. Okay, there is my size. So what they're asking us to do, we can also do it from portal, which might be easier for you. So just click on something else that is maybe also available, and then we're gonna hit resize. That will start the resize action for us. So over here on the logic app side, I'm just gonna run this logic app, and the logic app is running on this window right now. So over here, what I'll do, I'll click on resize. Okay, so that's the resize event that's is gonna happen at the moment. So let's come back on here. So here they're running some command to resize this. So come over here. We are not doing it. We are doing it. We are doing it from the portal, and then we just need to monitor our email to make sure that it happens. Okay, so let's let it resize. As soon as the resize is successful, we'll review our email and make sure that it's working. But notice that we have deployed a $10 per month VM. Now I'm resizing this to $170 virtual machine. So I really don't want to keep this like the resize virtual machine is not successful, right? So at this time, what I'll do, go to outlook.com. Okay, and outlook.com, and we just want to see if we're getting that email about the, there we go. What is that? Make sure that you're on the right email. Is labs2023, so you are there. So just wait for a couple seconds, and and that message, if the logic app is working properly, you should be seeing an email right over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a couple minutes and then we'll come back and review it. Alright, it's been just less than couple minutes, and if you come back to this one, look at that. So here I have got an email from that email address, and it says resource update. I have must have misspelled that portion. This is coming from automatically dynamically created. It's talking about my subscription ID, resource group, VM group, providers, Microsoft Compute, virtual machine, WinVM. And look at that, this is what we have configured: event time, event type, event ID, and topic. As a matter of fact, I already moved this one back to the normal. So this is another email I just got, and this is for bringing the size back to the original one. So this is how easy it is to create and monitor your resource group. And in this one, we have used a trigger, a event grid, and then we are using a logic app, right? So resource event, when that occurs, we are sending that using a logic app. We are sending and evaluating what happened, and then using this connector to send an email to ourselves. Alright, that's all for the lab. Do some practice if you are taking the exam, and just kind of understand when to use what, like when to use your function app versus when to use the logic app, when to use the event grid, event hub, and and everything else around topics and events and messages and all that stuff. All right, have a good day, and if you're preparing for the exam, good luck. Thank you.